Good evening, travelers, interlopers, traders, and farmers. Explorers, bounty hunters, pirates, and strange glowing entities. Viking, Korvax, and Gek, and all the alike. And all of you strange creatures out there hiding in the dark. May the Atlas allow my voice to fall upon every strange ear, and that this space transmission reaches every galaxy and dimension. Tonight, we are broadcasting from the Euclid Galaxy, somewhere deep in space. This is the late night show with Cobra TV. Call in and let's make contact. What is going on, guys? Thank you so much for coming back to another live broadcast of Cobra TV, the Subcast here on Cobra TV, where you get to call in and talk about No Man's Sky or bring up another game if you like. We don't have to stick with No Man's Sky if you don't want to. Today, I want to talk a lot about update speculation. I mean, we're getting close. I look, sometimes I feel like Christopher Columbus, and I'm trying to tell you guys that there's land. And I promise you there is land. I promise. We go through this all the time. You know, we all get all anxious and we all get so like grrr, you know, with everybody. Communities start getting on fire. There's a lot of arguments and things like that. But, you know, I promise you, we are getting close to an update. Even if it's another month or two away, that's still closer than we were 6 months ago. And that's going to be the topic for today's show. And how big is the update? I'm going to tell you right now, I believe it's a big, big update. I believe it's the icing on the cake update. And the reason why is because with Atlas Rises, you guys heard me say it in the video, with Atlas Rises, we waited a long time for that update, but that was because they were stretching it out to the anniversary of No Man's Sky. But this time, there's no anniversary they're stretching to, and yet it's taken them a long time. But Atlas Rises was huge, and every update has been bigger than the previous one. And since Atlas Rises was so big that You know, this one, if it's either gonna match or it's gonna exceed it. But there is a flip side to that. I mean, what if it's taking them so long because they're improving the co-op of I'm gonna quit saying multiplayer. What if they're just improving the co-op, and it's just a very technical thing, and it's taken them a long time to do so. I don't know, but I really want to stick by my guns and say that I think that this is going to be a big update. So if you guys want to join the show, add me on Skype, LpoLi1622. That's LpoLi1622, and get your butt on the show. Talk about No Man's Sky. Talk about what you want to in the update, and also talk about use common sense to try and think about what could possibly be in the update, and not what we want. Either or, wishes and dreams, or reality, what could possibly be in this update. Either or would be fine. And come on the show, talk about your YouTube channel. I want to know what you're doing in No Man's Sky. I want to know what you're uploading on your YouTube channel. One of the things I love doing here on Cobra TV is sharing your content and letting you talk about what it is you want to that you're doing. Whether you want to talk about, you want to tell everybody about your Twitter account, or your Facebook account, or your Facebook group, or your PSN, your PlayStation community, which we just made one. That'd be cool if I could stream right to it. Can I? I don't know if I can stream right to my PlayStation community or not. But awesome stuff, guys. Get on the show. I'm gonna go over here and I'm gonna check and see if anybody's wanting to come on the show. All right, we got Keep Coming Game on and Panda. All right. We also got Snow Obsidian who wants to come back on, so that's amazing. Adam.
Hey, what's up?
Oh, nothing much, buddy. Nothing much. Just starting the nightly late night show, Cobra TV Subcast, and it's amazing to hear from you again, dude.
Yeah, man, for sure. I just got off work, so decided to pop in.
That's awesome, dude. We got Panda who wants to also come on the show. We're gonna go ahead and start getting people on here before I start screaming about the update and getting louder and louder and louder. I just streamed over on Twitch.
Oh, sweet. What did you play?
I played No Man's Sky, but that was just to test my Elgato.
Did you finally got a capture device?
I had one, but it was buried in my closet.
Okay.
I was looking for something, and I found it, and now I'm like, hey, I'm going to see if this works. And I'm going to tell you why. I'm going to tell you guys why I streamed to Twitch today, why the Elgato's out, and what my plans are for Twitch. And I'm super excited.
Sweet. Yeah, I was up late playing a new indie game I just got.
I saw your message on Twitter. How is that?
It's pretty cool. It's called Superflight, and it's basically kind of like a wingsuit simulator. You see those guys jump out of like the airplanes with like the wingsuits. It's kind of like that, but it's like kind of voxel/pixel graphics. And the whole premise of the game is you just start off and you're just flying through these procedurally generated levels, and you're just trying to get points by flying as close to objects as you can. You're just trying to beat your high score, other people's high score, and like do combos and stuff. It's pretty, a simple idea. There's only like one button that you use. If you have a 360 controller plugged in, you just use your thumbstick, and if you have a keyboard plugged in, you just use the arrow keys. But yeah, it's only $1.50 right now on Steam. So I picked it up and I was pleasantly surprised. So yeah,
that's cool. Awesome. That's awesome. We got Jason on the chat. How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing good, man. How you been?
Been great, man. Been great. Just got done streaming over on Twitch. Played a little bit of No Man's Sky. Talked to some people over there on Twitch, and it's gonna be a fun time. And I'm gonna bring up what that is gonna be about. Why I streamed to Twitch today, and a little bit later down the road. But I want this this subcast tonight to be focused around update speculation. It is my theory, my speculation, that I believe that this update is going to be big, and I think it's going to be the icing on the cake for No Man's Sky. And in my last two videos, I've been saying a lot that No Man's Sky is going to get itself to where we're not living paycheck to paycheck, because that's exactly what we're doing as No Man's Sky travelers and explorers and interlopers and traders.
You're talking about the game being self-sustaining.
Yes, yeah, exactly. Yeah, and so that's exactly what we're doing. When an update comes out, we play the crap out of it, and then we're like, okay, well, we want the next update, and they got to get No Man's Sky to where it's going to be self-sustaining, like you said. And I want to get kind of people's opinions. I got some comments, really great comments. I mean, you guys left some amazing comments, awesome comments. But now I want to kind of get people who are coming on the show to kind of give their input on what they think would self-sustain No Man's Sky to where they could work on a new game, a new project, and it be self-sustaining, such as games like Minecraft. No Man's Sky is nothing like Minecraft, but I'm not comparing the two. But what I am comparing is the longevity that Minecraft has, and I would like to get your guys' opinions. So everybody want to call on the show, give me your opinion on what you think No Man's Sky needs to stand on two legs, strong and firm, and so that way Hello Games work on a new product and further their company. Because if we all love No Man's Sky, we all love Hello Games, and since we love Hello Games,
I like Joe Danger.
Yeah, no. Yeah, I wouldn't mind seeing another Joe Danger game, but I would hate to see No Man's or Hello Games go down the route of just releasing those Joe Danger games from now on, because it's easy, everybody loves it, and I would like to see Hello Games stay ambitious, but also release another Joe Danger game. I think would be great. But Jason, what do you think? What would it be that Hello Games needs to do to No Man's Sky, so that way we're not living update to update, and it's self-sustaining? What do you think that thing is?
Synchronous co-op.
I agree. That's definitely one thing.
Yes. Maybe allowing two players to build a base together, to build a structure together. Okay. There's a gratification in that. Now, for example, me and my wife built a castle in Minecraft, and that was just amazing.
Right. Yeah, me and my wife were thinking about doing the same thing, or not a castle, but building a world together, just a fantasy land or something.
I think they got to put more resources into the multiplayer aspect of the game, because without multiplayer, it's eventually just going to slowly die, I think. Because when you think about it, I mean, you compared it with Minecraft, even though they're completely different games, but if you think about Minecraft, if there wasn't multiplayer in Minecraft, would people still be playing it? Would it become like the big game it is today? You know what I mean? Or would it just have slowly died, like if there wasn't co-op or multiplayer? The same could be said with like Call of Duty. If there wasn't multiplayer in Call of Duty and it was just a campaign, you'd play the campaign and you'd probably never go back and touch it again. Right. So I think multiplayer is that secret sauce that No Man's Sky needs. I know it has it now, kind of, but once they add the player models, once they add maybe co-op questing or whatnot, I think it's gonna bring back new life into the game. So that's what I'm hoping for. Plus, all the new like creatures and stuff they could put into the game, and just better refine the procedural generation. Just so it's add more things into the mix, so when it procedural generates, it looks better. You know what I mean? But yeah, multiplayer definitely.
Yeah, I'm with you there, man. I totally agree.
Because, I mean, even if it was just the vanilla version of No Man's Sky, but we could play with other people, I think that would people would still be playing it. Like, a lot more people would be playing it today. Just because you could play with your friends.
I agree. And I think there needs to be a lot more. I mean, when we say co-op, well, first I want to go ahead and give a disclaimer, okay? I'm speaking on behalf of a lot of people. From what I see from a lot of people, from what I see people say, okay, enough's enough. It's been too long. I want an update now. We should have 1.5. I want it now. Screw this ARG. I don't want this and that. No Man's Sky, from day one, has been enough for me, right? I was watching Sean Murray play No Man's Sky when it released on Twitch. I was watching that today. And I'm sitting there. I miss how mountainous the planets were back then in the vanilla version, the way it released. And I think they flattened. I never realized how much they flattened out and leveled out the planets until I watched that older video. And I think they did that for the exographs. And
Yeah,
but
Yeah.
you know, the game has changed a lot and over time, and I think that we've forgotten what it used to look like. But from day one, No Man's Sky's been enough for me. Of course, I long for the updates. I want to see an update, right, all the time. But I mean, No Man's Sky is always good enough for me. But I do know that there's a lot of people out there that have they play the game more often than I do, and for longer periods than I do, and so they get done with everything way faster than I can, right? So so they're going to reach the end of that. Oh, but we just got a donation from Colt. Oh my God, glad to have you on Twitch, Cobra. Thank you so much, bro. You are a Cobra, dude. Thank you so much, man. Big shout out to Colt over there. Click on his icon right there and check out his YouTube channel. He's switched over to Twitch, but I'm sure he's got a video there that can tell you how to get to his Twitch account. But thank you so much, Colt.
Just to tell you, Cobra, I donate, but I don't really know how to do that.
No, it's fine, dude. It's fine. I don't even know how to do it. I don't know how they do that. There's a money symbol, I think. I don't know. Yeah, down at the bottom. But no, it's fine, dude.
Oh, I'm looking at you on my PS4, so I'm not on my computer.
Oh, you watching me on your PS4? That's freaking awesome, dude. I'm coming through a PS4 console.
On the
Isn't
big
that something,
screen.
Adam? Think about that, man. We were sitting
That's
there
pretty
playing.
cool.
Yeah, I mean, I bought the PlayStation 1. Or it wasn't called a PlayStation 1. It was just called Sony PlayStation. And me and my brother played the crap out of that. We beat the crap out of each other in Tekken. We raced the crap out of each other with Ridge Racer and games like that. And now here I am. My voice is coming through a PlayStation. That's just unreal to think about.
Yeah, it's
awesome.
amazing, isn't it?
Yeah.
Back when you were a kid, you never probably imagined
I got a little I got a little PS1 story to tell you. I was playing Final Fantasy VII.
Uh-huh.
And I got to disc 3, right where the ending is, and it wouldn't read the disc.
Oh no!
And then my cousin Brandon, who just got out of the army, he specialized in electronics in the army. He said, "Oh, all you got to do is turn the system upside down," and it worked just fine.
No, are you serious? That's pretty cool.
I'm serious.
All right, so we got a lot of people that want to come on the show.
Speaking of the PS1, a game that I would love to see come back would be Crash Team Racing. Like, I played the heck out of that game.
Oh, that was a cool little kart racer, wasn't it?
Crash Team Racing, man, that was so much fun. You had like
it really was,
you could shoot. Everyone liked Mario Kart, but Crash Team Racing was my jam. That's what I liked. And they made like Crash Nitro Kart and stuff, but yeah.
We got a new caller on the show. Thank you for coming on Cobra TV tonight. What brings you on, dude?
Hey, I just wanted to talk to you guys again. Been a while since I've been on Subcast, but also I was playing No Man's Sky, and I actually had a really interesting idea that I don't know if you want to maybe mention in a future video or just have here, but I think it could be something that could actually encourage people to leave the galaxy and balance out like PvP in a way. Like I was thinking, so spoiler alert here for anyone who hasn't gotten to the ending of the story or whatever, but you know how at the end you can choose like tranquil or aggressive galaxy or like dead galaxy or whatever.
Right.
I was thinking, what if they or like balanced galaxy or whatever. Well, what if they incorporated it like so that the PvP would maybe be like maybe for the aggressive galaxy it would always be on, you could never turn it off. For the tranquil galaxy it would always be off. For the balanced galaxy you could choose to turn it on or off. And I don't know what they do with the dead one, but or the ancient one or whatever it's called, but yeah, no, that was just an idea I wanted to know maybe your thoughts on and thoughts of other people who are here.
I think that's a great idea.
They could do it. I was thinking they could do it kind of like GTA 5, where you could just turn PvP on and off in the same instance.
Yeah. No, I mean, yeah, that'd be a great way to do it too. But I just think it'd be kind of cool to have it tied to the galaxy, because it also encourage people to maybe leave Euclid if they want that extremely aggressive experience or that extremely tranquil one. And yeah, I don't know. And and maybe have an option and maybe have an option when you get to the center to change what type of galaxy you're going to go into next or something. You know, maybe have that center room again.
Now, you see, that's pretty cool.
Wouldn't that require players to go 50 hours to the center just to get non-PvP?
Yeah, but see, that's pretty cool. I mean, if you want something, fight for it, travel for it, you know. But I think a better way, a more a suitable way for people, because I love that idea. I'd be the one that would play it like that, but I know a lot of people probably wouldn't. But I think a really cool idea is to designate a galaxy that is absolutely dangerous and it's PvP. So maybe you could use I don't know, warp to a space Stargate, and it takes you into the PvP galaxy, and that entire galaxy, all the way from the rim to the center, is all PvP. And if you don't want PvP, you don't go to that galaxy.
That would be cool.
Yeah, I think that's a great way to solve it, instead of having some way to turn it on and off, which is kind of break the immersion. I think going.
Yeah. What you're talking about is kind of like a middle ground.
Yeah. Yeah, that'd be kind of cool. I mean, I'd be down for something like that. That way, the people that don't want the PvP, they never have to go to that galaxy, ever.
Do you think when Sean Murray made the game, he planned on people finding each other and having this even PvP or even co-op in the game?
Yeah.
Like when it first came out, because I know he said you could find people, but there was a really small chance it would happen. So do you think they planned on all these updates leading toward multiplayer when it first came out? Do you think that was something in at the back of his mind, or that people wouldn't just be they wouldn't be interested at all with it?
What, with multiplayer?
Yeah.
No. Ever since 2014, he mentioned in GameSpot, he said that, and this is almost an exact quote, he said, there is a plan for a more traditional multiplayer, but it's later down the road, and it's not something he's ready to talk about yet, but it's something that they were really excited about. But it's not the focus of the game right now.
That's good to hear. Because
that's something he said.
What I always thought was he never planned on people playing together, and this was just something he was well, we should put multiplayer in. But if it was around in the beginning, that makes me feel a lot better, because that means they had a game plan. You know what I mean?
Right. No. Yeah.
They had kind of like a roadmap.
Yeah. Right. There's a couple more things to mention on that too. So he said that in 2014, and then he also said. In a magazine, he said, after No Man's Sky has been out for a while, essentially what you're going to have is No Man's Sky Online, a way to warp to your friends. So, he planned on, he said it there as well. That was said in the UK magazine. It was a PlayStation UK magazine, and it was only released there. I don't think it was released in the States.
Well, he basically done that with the portal system, didn't he?
Yeah, I think the portals were actually... They've changed. Before, when he mentioned the portals, they were supposed to just take you to a planet closer to the center of the galaxy so you can get a taste of what's ahead. But I think they changed now, and I think they've been reorganized for their meaning, and I believe their meaning is to fast travel to your friend, and I think that's what it is. But, again, the Wisps is all we get to see, but, they said on their blog that, No Man's Sky, this was just the first steps at the beginning of cooperative synchronized gameplay. So we're at, the Wisps, and being able to see each other and talk to each other in game is just the beginning, just a start. He also said on those blog posts on nomansky.com that this was, I think, 2016, 2015. Maybe it's 2016. Yeah, 2016. He said, right now, No Man's Sky is about exploration. Later on, No Man's Sky will be about other things. So I believe that we've all explored our little butts off. There's more to explore. I do it. That's how I play the game. I explore. I hardly upgrade anything. I don't farm. I've never farmed a single thing yet. But as far as other things, I think we're at that point now. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. When you think about it, and plus there's only so much they can add to, to explore. They're kind of I don't want to say strictly a point, because that sounds a little too like I don't know, like just strict or something. But I like, I mean, there has to be a little more of a purpose, I think, and not even just story wise, but even if just on a networking level. Like, especially you mentioned how would No Man's Sky keep the kind of the community level of Minecraft? Well, I mean, I think adding in more multiplayer-friendly features is what's going to do it, because ultimately Minecraft is really heavily community-driven, and it's just, and ultimately, I think allowing people to create more, what would be really cool, and I don't know if this would ever be a thing, but if people could like create their own creatures and plants and stuff, and
that'd be cool.
Yeah, just
that would, that would be awesome.
I think that would be what would give it the lifespan of Minecraft, because imagine people creating tons and tons of things, and Minecraft has quadrillions, quintillions of planets or whatever, where you can explore. So there's always new stuff to explore. So there's always a chance that you can come across some of the new randomly uploaded creatures or whatever, and I don't know, maybe even have a thing where you can subscribe to them or whatever.
Like an in-game editor or something.
The first creature I would create would be like a sandworm from Dune.
We have Snow Obsidian, who just joined the call. How you doing, bud? Okay, we got no snow.
Yeah, I don't think.
So somebody on my comment section, I don't know if I mentioned it yet tonight here on the show. Somebody had mentioned that what would be really cool and would give the game a ton of life is to have a campaign maker for us. So that way, say you're in a star system and you want to make a campaign that plays out in that star system, or maybe in multiple star systems, and you could add, put NPCs here. They say you could write what they say. You could write how they tell the story, what you find where, and at the end of it is a big giant reward of nanite clusters or something rare in the game or something like that. And what you've essentially done was created an amazing story, your own campaign that plays out almost just like if the Hello Games would have made it. And you could post that to some kind of leaderboard or some kind of online board where people could go and pick your story, the most voted ones, the coolest ones. So you could test your skills out at designing, you could test your skills out at writing and entertainment. And I think a campaign maker would be freaking amazing if they added that to No Man's Sky.
That would be really awesome, because it would play into the role players' hands. They could add their own lore to the universe.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah, definitely.
Or even something as simple as like a quest maker or like a mission maker, where it's like, go to this planet, collect these items, or take this specific item to this person. Just something that will give you a certain reward. Just something simple like that, maybe to start, and then if that works,
like take 100 thamium to this guy.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah, definitely. And what's cool is too, I think, especially if the in-game tools to create missions or whatever were expansive enough, people, because it's clear if you give people enough options, they'll create amazing things with the tools you give them. The more versatile they are. People have created literal computers in Minecraft and stuff because of how much it just allows you to do. So ultimately, if they release any community creation tools for everyone, they need to make them as expansive as possible, which is why in some ways, like, don't get me wrong, I like the base building system, but if they want that to be something that really adds to their game, they need to really expand on it, and maybe even find a way to maybe bump up the item limit by like a ton or something, and also add just a ton more items in general.
Like a level editor.
I think they need to scrap the whole base that they have. Scrap it, man, and just go to the way that Space Engineers does it. Do it the way that Minecraft does it. I think they're using too heavy of assets to do the base building, and it's not giving us really a whole lot of things to work with. I think they should need to scrap it, man. Just go to a voxel base building system like everybody else. And I think that would create a lot more variety for us, a lot more things that we could do instead of using all these preset models.
Or at least do that in like creative mode, but keep it like maybe the old way and normal. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because I think, like, to build your base and stuff, you have to, like, find certain materials to get the blueprints to build certain, like, walls and whatnot, right? Is that correct?
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. So, like, if they just allowed you to create anything, it would kind of negate that going out and finding the materials to get those items. You know what I mean?
Well, true. I don't know. I
mean, it's kind of a bit of a trade-off.
Yeah, I don't know. I still feel like
I'm with Cobra on scrapping the idea of just finding a base and then building it there. I think you should be able to build anything anywhere on a planet. Like, you should be able to stick a flag in a planet and say, "This is mine," and build whatever you want.
I agree.
Yeah.
100%.
Hey guys.
We got Aaron, Black Note Studios. What's going on, buddy?
Gentlemen, how are we doing this evening?
We're doing
Hello,
good, buddy.
Aaron.
We're doing great.
Well.
What brings you on the show tonight, man? I don't know if you've been listening to the show yet, but I'm kind of like asking, buddy, what do you think No Man's Sky needs to stand on its own two legs so that the entirety of the community isn't waiting on the next update after the other one has been played quickly?
Whatever it is, it has to be community based. That's what, like, Minecraft and all the other ones, why their longevity is, you know, hell, it's been years. They need that same kind of thing where the community is as much a part of the game as Hello Games originally was. That's what they need.
All right. Mason Golden Chat tells me to play Elite Dangerous. I will, dude. Episode, technically it's episode 3 is going to be uploaded very soon. Yeah, I love it, dude. I love it. I love space games, man. No Man's Sky, Elite Dangerous, Space
Cobra,
Engineers.
I was gonna ask you a little something. You played Ark Survival Evolved, haven't you?
Yeah.
So if you're No Man's Sky, you know, where you use like Mr. Magoo in space.
Revenge of the Survivor?
Yeah, Revenge of the Survivor. Now, wouldn't Ark Survival be Mr. Magoo in Jurassic Park?
Would what?
Would Ark Survival Evolved be Mr. Magoo in Jurassic Park?
In Jurassic Park? Oh, the game Jurassic Park?
No, like Mr. Magoo in Jurassic Park.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah. Yeah. That's exactly what it ended up being. Yeah.
Hey, Cobra, I was watching you play. I think it was during your morning show. I can't remember. I've seen so many of your shows lately.
Thank you.
You were talking, and as you were talking, you were actually playing at the same time. And it just occurred to me, I really hope that, and I heard what you just said about the whole bases, scrapping the base idea. If we do have bases, there needs to be a reason to be on the planet. I mean, they need something more for you to do on a single planet. And as I was watching you, I was seeing this drone go over the horizon in the distance. And I wish they had a slider where you could actually move the sensitivity of the drones so they will attack you more or less. I think there needs to be some kind of, I mean, I get that No Man's Sky is definitely a exploration game, but there also needs to be this sense of urgency or fear, because quite honestly, this is what I was thinking is, when I got this special edition and they gave you that little booklet to read, the comic book.
Yeah.
That comic book is like, in essence, what No Man's Sky, the world of what it is. And the character in there was very much like in fear for his life on the planet, going from like nook and cranny to nook and cranny, because he didn't want to be seen by the drones, because the drones were like this terrible, terrible thing. And right now, when we're on a planet, the drones just kind of fly around. Even in permadeath, you can run away from the drones and they'll just let you alone.
Right.
There is no sense of danger from the drones at all.
I agree with you, man. They need to be there needs to be a far more danger on the planets, even not just from the Sentinels, but from other things as well. Yes. Ivy Mike just donated $5. Says I played the game so much, still I would be okay with just some PC optimization, but they could open source the code, let the community keep it going. I agree. That's a great idea, Ivy Mike.
I'd be interested in trying awesome. To develop something for it if they open sourced it. I mean, I always dabble with development stuff, and I'd love to get into that sort of thing. Part of it is I haven't had the time lately to try and get into it now as is. Plus, it's I mean, it's a little janky to even make a mod for it right now. But
it's kind of like what the developers of Kerbal Space Program did. They just left the source code out to the community and said, "Have fun with that."
Space Engineers did it too.
Oh, did they?
Yeah, I think so. At least to some extent.
Well, I agree with you, Aaron.
I haven't played Space Engineers. I'm more of a console gamer, but I do play Kerbal Space Program on PC.
I agree with you, Aaron. I could even see some sort of like, you know how Destiny does it, where they go on these little missions where they're fighting, together in co-op. I think that would be kind of cool if there was like these little things to do where you're fighting Sentinels together, like for a reason, not just getting together and aggroing them and just fighting them, but like missions that you could start with a group of friends and on a planet, and there's a reason for that mission. There's a reason to go in there and fight the Sentinels.
The Sentinels are building up strength on this planet in your system. You need to stop it, so gather a bunch of friends together and go raid your base.
Yeah. Kind of like what you see in what's that one game, Warframe and Destiny, something like that.
Like a raid type thing.
Yeah, like a raid, exactly. We got Ninja Prox who just joined the call. How you doing, buddy?
Hey, Ninja, you
Yeah, I'm here. Sorry, just dealing with somebody at work. Sorry about that.
Oh,
I'm almost done. No worries there, no worries. So I just had an odd comment pop into my head while he was mentioning at the end of the game there, opening up a whole new universe towards, geared towards multiplayer, making it so it's, acceptable for everyone. Just join that after the game. That would be actually really, really fun. And they actually could do that. I could see them putting that into the game, to be honest.
Right. So you're talking about when you get to the end of the storyline, just choosing the universe that's PvP.
Yeah, I mean that to me would be amazing. I mean, like No Man's Sky to me, like the exploration is phenomenal. But you can only go so far until sorry, I can't speak for everybody, but I end up getting bored about 4 or 5 hours into my exploration. So.
Well, yeah, but I mean, think about that comment that she said, though. 4 or 5 hours into your exploration, you get bored.
4 or 5 hours, and most games, 2 hours, you're done.
Right. If you look on YouTube and look at Let's Plays of other games, you see like 30-minute Let's Plays, hour Let's Plays. But if you look at No Man's Sky Let's Plays, they're up 3 hours, 5 hours, 10 hours long. Yeah, man. It's like, wow.
Well, I mean, it's good to have a community of people to play with, too. I mean, when you get a group of people that, you're not actually in the same server, in the same session. In some cases you are, but, I mean, sometimes you get a community of people where you're partying just explaining what you're seeing and sending screenshots. It just brings a whole new aspect to the game. And if you're able to do that without actual multiplayer, I think that's brilliant.
I agree.
Hey,
so I actually have an idea.
Yeah, I was just about to say, Snow Obsidian, I think he unmuted. I think he just noticed his mic was muted. And, yeah.
Okay, Snow.
I do have to go. I will be back after work. I only got a few more minutes. I'll talk to you later, guys.
Okay, Ninja.
Have a good one.
We'll see you then.
Thanks
Bye-bye.
for having me on. I appreciate it.
Have a good one, Ninja.
Okay, go ahead, Snow. What you got, buddy?
So, in regards to the whole 4 galaxies at the end, so not only, how do I say this? So I actually had an idea that if you went to a certain galaxy where it's basically, you find a dead planet, those dead planets in in the base game where there's like literally nothing but plutonium, sentinels, and small patches of thamium.
Yeah.
So if you use that planet and basically build it from the ground up, basically all on your own or with a friend, you can, well, basically make your own planet.
You're talking about terraforming?
Kinda terraforming with a smidge of
with like building,
becoming
right?
a god.
Like, yeah, I think that actually is really smart. Like, have like, you know, have the dead and barren planets. Like, maybe if they wanted to do the open building thing, but they didn't want it to like weird out some of the more natural planets or something, maybe like have the dead planets have more building features since they don't have anything else on the planet. Like, you know, make it so that there's no building limit on that planet since there's nothing else for the game to load anyway, or like I don't know, something like that. Or yeah, maybe even involving terraforming or something. You know, claim the planet and stuff, and just be able to customize it more like that.
Like it has to be a
To
dead
add on
planet
to
before
it.
you can actually build something.
Yeah, or maybe they
That
can
could get
fix my
crazy though.
biggest-
Like think of that. Like you just have like a really lush planet, but it's like you can't build unless there's nothing here. So everyone just goes to that planet,
Well,
kills every animal, and then starts from the ground up. It's like, okay,
See,
guys, we're going on a hunting
you touched
mission.
you touched on my biggest gripe with No Man's Sky. Anytime you go to a lush planet, it's an extreme sentinel planet. They'll attack you on sight. That bugs the crap out of me.
Right.
Yeah.
So
Actually,
one
from
other
what I'm
thing.
gathering from a lot of people, from the comments on YouTube, from the people that are calling, you guys calling in, you telling me what you think No Man's Sky needs for sustainability, so that way they could focus on another game, because I would like to see another game from Hello Games. And so from what I'm gathering from everybody, there's a commonality. It's community and co-op, you know. But with that is gonna have to come content and assets and things to do with co-op. You know what I mean? So there's a lot that branches out into a big wider topic of, you know, when you say community. And I think, you know, better building mechanic in No Man's Sky. It's in my opinion, scrap that little hut that they have and the assets that they have for building. Just scrap it and put in. I mean, we can still buy blueprints for shapes of blocks and shapes of walls and stuff like that. But I think it needs to be a lighter version of building. I think the assets are too heavy. I think they done well with the building. Don't get me wrong; it's amazing. I think it's limited, but I think it looks amazing. It looks beautiful, really high tech. Something I would imagine that we would actually have if we were out there in the universe in some, you know, far-flung time in the future or something like that. But I think it needs to be simplified a little bit more, so that way we could be more creative with it. And I think we can be. I mean, look how creative you could be in Minecraft with the block, you know. So in the way they do things in Space Engineers, how they have the building in Space Engineers. I just think they need to make the building lighter, so that way we could be more creative. So building needs to be improved and redesigned, in my personal opinion. Another thing needs to be, you know, the co-op, like everybody says, and the campaign maker. I think should be at the top of the list. I think that should be tweeted to Hello Games. I'm sure they thought of it. Maybe. I hope they did. But the campaign
they're
maker,
too smart not to.
yeah, right.
I think I don't know if you have a Twitter account that you're really active on, but maybe you should tweet it at them or something. I mean,
I will. I'll definitely tweet it at them.
I'll tweet it at them too.
Okay. So, you know, I mean, it's like you have the building a campaign maker, which would create endless amount of content. People would be playing other people's campaigns that they write and put in place and everything. Then you'd have like community raids, you know, like they have in Destiny or Warframe or things like that, and then building hubs together and building communities. I think giving us those three categories would make this game stand on its own feet. And I think that's what I'm hearing from almost everybody. Almost Everyone's saying the same thing. And what Ivy Mike said, open source the game and give it to the people.
I think there's something they could add. Like when you go on buildings now, you can't take out your weapon, correct?
Right.
I think if they allowed you to take out your weapon, it would just add a whole new thing to the game. Because, like, picture this. They let you build anywhere. Okay, let's say in the new update, you can build anywhere. You don't have to be on your base. Or you can be on your base, but you can make the build limits go further. But you can also take out your weapons. So we get people, like, making these big, elaborate mazes or levels, and you can go in there, pull out a weapon, and be in there with your buddy and just, like, have a death match or something. Or people start making their own Battle Royale modes in No Man's Sky, in space, on planets, you know? But it's like you build these things, but you can't shoot or do anything. I think if they allowed, like, you to take out your weapon in those buildings, a lot of people would just go wild with that. You know what I mean?
I agree.
I think as soon as that happened, you would see copies of like Quake levels.
Yeah, I mean, people would just go crazy with it.
Yeah, they'd go nuts.
Like recreating like GoldenEye levels, or like, just they would, yeah.
Yeah, it would be insane.
I think it'd be pretty cool.
It really would.
Guys, I'm going to take a really quick break here. I'm going to refill my coffee. So if you guys could go ahead and keep talking, I'll be right back. And just don't get me in trouble on YouTube.
No promises, Cobra.
Yeah, right.
All of you number ones have the bridge.
Quick, let's make this super political. No, I'm kidding.
So what other games besides No Man's Sky have you guys been playing?
I've been playing Kingdom Come Deliverance.
Oh, that game looks good. I heard it kind of has a lot of bugs at the moment. They're still working out kinks, but it's pretty fun.
With a small team making a game that large, you would expect bugs.
Yeah, like how big is the team? Do you know?
I don't know how big the team is, but I don't think it's no more than 20.
Okay, that's a pretty ambitious game though for like 20 people. That's crazy.
You know, it's the combat that lured me in. You know, you can swing your sword 5 ways, and if you swing your sword one way, it's going to be blocked, and you're going to get stabbed in the throat.
Yeah,
that really suckered me in. It's challenging. And it's really, really fun. The storyline hooked me. You know, it's really good.
Have you heard of a game called Chivalry?
I've heard of it. I haven't seen much of it.
Is like I think like the combat's similar to what you're talking about in Kingdom Come. It's like you have all those different angles you can use. So I'm thinking maybe Kingdom Come is like kind of Skyrim, but with those mechanics of that fighting style.
You know, people say that. People like to compare it to Skyrim. It's nothing like Skyrim.
Okay.
You know, in Skyrim, your enemies are basically damage sponges.
Yeah.
But you know, in Kingdom Come, if you get the right strike, you'll kill them in one blow.
Nice. What if they added something like that to No Man's Sky?
If they got plated armor on their head and their arms, but their chest is padded, and you can manage to get a strike on their chest, they're going down. Yeah. Or if you shoot an arrow in their chest, they're going down. It kind of bugs me when they try to compare it to Skyrim, when the two are completely different. You know, I put 200 hours in Skyrim, and I put about 60 in Kingdom Come. They're completely different.
Do you think, like, with No Man's Sky, I don't know if they already do this, but, like, say a creature attacks you, if you, like, aim for their head, do you do more damage, or it's just, like, same damage wherever you hit them?
No, there's critical damage.
In No Man's Sky?
Yes.
Okay, because I wasn't sure. I like never attack animals in the game because I just feel bad. I'm like, I don't want to attack these little dudes, so I like hardly ever attack anything unless it's like a mission. I hate doing those missions, just like kill off all these creatures. I'm like, I don't want these guys.
Yeah, there's critical damage on creatures as well as starships.
Okay. In the next update, I really want to see them like make creatures a little bit more agile, more aggressive. I would really like there to be something other than sentinels to kill, you know, or like different kinds.
I agree.
Like big sentinels, small sentinels, like, you know, just yeah.
More variety.
To mention, Inez McKendrick, formerly known as Hazel McKendrick.
Yep.
is going to be at GDC this year.
Oh.
Oh, cool.
So, yeah, I mean, okay, so there's a little clue there. If she's going to GDC, how is she going to be working in the update? Think about that.
Is she like going to have like a presentation or something?
I'm sorry, he. If he is going, yeah, he's going to be doing a presentation. So if he's not going to be needing to be tied down to a computer, what does that say about the update? Done?
Well,
that it basically needs polish.
They came to LA and they were still in the middle of their update.
Oh, that's true. True.
I want to know what the cities guy is going to do, and I want to know what, because they came from two of them came from Fable, I believe.
Yeah, Lionhead Studios.
Yeah, Lionhead Studios.
Three
And
of them.
Fable has that whole good and evil thing going on, and I don't know if they would incorporate any of that into No Man's Sky, but that would be kind of interesting. I doubt they would at this point, but.
Well, the thing that gets me is like we know there's people from Fable working on it.
It would be kind of neat, like if you were in a PvP server, so to say, and you gunned down a lot of people, you had a bounty on your head.
Yeah,
there's an idea, and
bounties would be cool.
I don't know if a strict good or evil system would be. I mean, I guess it might work in No Man's Sky, but I don't know if it should be labeled as good and evil like it is in Fable, though.
Yeah.
It kind of already exists with you and, you know.
Yeah, they have those choices you can ask, and they ask you and whatnot. Yeah.
Yeah, it kind of already exists in its own form.
What gets me though is we know these
guys. It doesn't
guys.
have any consequence.
Well, yeah, but I think the point is it should be like tracked on some level, or it should be, I mean, there's reputation, but maybe it should go a little bit beyond that, or it should mean a little more.
Do you think they're going to add cities, like some type of, whether it's like abandoned cities or something to do with cities?
I hope
in
they
this
do.
next update, because like I'm thinking they got the guys from Lion's Head that are like basically known for building these things, and they've just been kind of sitting there. They have to be doing something. They're not just there twiddling their thumbs, getting people coffee. Like they're working on something. And if they're known for that, like that's their speciality, there's got to be something, whether it's maybe a different game they're working on, that's the next thing No Man's Sky. I mean, Hello Games is working on, or it's No Man's Sky, but they got to be working on something.
I think like Cobra said earlier, I don't think that they're going to be big cities. I think they're going to be maybe a little bit of an expansion of what they already are. But the question is, what is their function? Like, what are they actually going to do? So they make them bigger and maybe a little bit, but what is their function? What are they, I mean...
Why are they there?
Why
are they all the way out there in the middle of nowhere? Why is one little trailer just sitting there? You know what I mean? Like, it seems out of place right now. It's cool, but it seems out of place. So I think that he's going to make that make sense a little bit more. He's going to make a little bit more clusters. It's going to be a reason. When you see one out there, you're like, oh, that's, you're going to know why it's there. You're going to know. I hope that's what he's there to do, or at least, I mean, it'd be cool if there was a whole planet that was a procedural city. That'd be amazing. I'm not expecting that.
Especially if it was.
One thing that would be really cool is to make the NPCs, the Vy'keen, do something other than stand in one spot.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. That's definitely something I want to see. We got Helpia Collections in the chat. How you doing, Helpia? It's good to see you out here. It's amazing to see you out here. Matt Barrett, Infinite Lightning, Alonzo P, Peaceful Gamer. Oh my God, Peaceful Gamer's in the chat. Come to Captain Monday Baker. And Jorge Miranda.
Shout out to Peaceful Gamer, man. I'm a subscriber.
Oh yeah, Peaceful Game is amazing, man. He's one heck of a relayer of messages there. I've known that guy for I can say this now. I've known him for years. That's cool. Very cool. Panda Poopy's in the chat. I'm loving this subcast. Panda out. All right, so go ahead.
Cobra.
You were just saying about a planet that's a full city. There's your longevity in No Man's Sky. If you could have a player-created planet that's a city, if multiple ones, and that's your hub, that would be amazing to fly up on.
Yeah, and it'd be
Right.
cool too. It'd be cool too, even if the cities were just a discovery thing or your creation thing, or maybe a mix of both. I think obviously whoever first makes it or discovers it or whatever should be able to name the city.
So I got a
Oh,
question for
that'd
you
be cool.
guys.
That'd be cool as crap.
Let's say they do have cities, right? Whether they're abandoned or whatever. Do you think we'll be able to go inside these cities instead of just like seeing them from above? Like, okay, it looks
Well,
cool. Do you think we'll be able
I
to
think that's
explore
how-
these structures?
Well, hold on a second. I seen your video or live stream. You were on my channel live streaming, and you were talking about Star Citizen's procedural city, or not procedural. Yeah, well, the city.
Yeah.
And you're like, well, this is cool and all, but if you can't go in them, it's not cool, right? But
Yeah.
here's the thing.
I mean,
with
it looks
that.
nice.
Well, here's the thing with that. When you're driving downtown, you're not allowed to go in any building you want. You can't. You're just not. I mean, you're going to be tripped over, arrested, trespassing. You know what I mean? You can't go into every house. You can't go into every office building. You can't just go into any government building. So in real life, you just can't go wandering around and stuff like that. So if you want something to feel real, the wonderment of what's inside is the same you would have in real life. So not everything needs to be entered.
Well, yeah, I
'cause
mean,
that would
obviously
actually
not
break immersion.
every building, but you know, maybe certain structures that you can go in and explore. Kind of like in Grand Theft Auto, there's buildings you can just kind of
Right.
go in.
Yeah.
Or
There would
even the
have to
way
be a
that No
lot.
Man's Sky is right now, where you can like go in the space station. I mean, the abandoned whatchamacallums.
Structures.
Yeah, the abandoned structures. Like you can go inside there, kind of explore. But if they like made those bigger, maybe had different corridors, made it maybe as big as like a warehouse, and you have to just explore this thing, kind of like a maze, in order to find these stations where you have to like solve the riddle. I think that would be cool. You know what I mean?
Right.
Instead of
Yeah,
just
but
like
it'd be really cool if like you went in those buildings and there was a Viking there to shoot you on sight.
yeah, like some
Hello?
type-
This guy
some type
just
of
wants
enemy or
to. This guy just wants to fight. We got Lily Hopper on the call tonight. Lily, how you doing?
I'm doing all right. How are you?
Doing great. This is Lily from No Man's Sky Cafe. So everybody say
Well,
hi.
hello,
to
Lily.
Hello.
What brings you on the show tonight, Lily?
Not really a whole lot. Just wanted to pop in and say hi and tell you thank you for all the content that you're putting out there while we're waiting for the updates. Because it's, we kind of get a little tired of just waiting because the ball's kind of been dropped for a while. And
It has.
Just-
What a build up. You know what I mean? It's like, hey guys, here's Waking Titan. Hey guys, there goes Waking Titan. It's gone.
Pretty much.
and then that's all there was. Yeah. And
Yeah.
that's why we came up with 42 is because we figured, 42, we were hoping it was going to be more drawn out than it was. But we were kind of hoping, maybe if we did that for like a couple of weeks, right, it would help bridge the gap and kind of keep some interest going. And then 42 ended and we were just waiting. There's nothing.
Yeah.
Which is always
In the
fun.
words of Agatha Christie, and then there were none.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
So what you got going on over at No Man's Sky Cafe? I mean, I see a lot of stuff. I'm on your Amino.
Yes, I saw
community.
that.
Yeah. So it's amazing being over there. What do you guys got going on right now?
Well, the thing about the cafe is it was actually meant to be basically the virtual world of like the Star Wars cantina meets the Federation from Star Trek, where it's literally about just exploring. It's everybody. It doesn't matter what hub you're in, what group you're in, if you're a lone player, if you're in Isentum, if you're in Euclid, it doesn't matter where you are, right? Because it's
Right.
just a giant place to meet friends. That's why I named it the cafe. It's literally just a place to come in, say hi, talk about whatever you want, show pictures of whatever you want, and not have someone say, well, yeah, but was that in our region? Or, well,
yeah.
are you one of us? Do you belong here? Well, did you name it this way? It's literally just where you can go do anything. And so that's kind of our content over there is just, it's everybody talking about everything. We've got a couple of people over in Isentum right now. We've got a couple in Bedolinger. We've got some that are in Hyades. We've got Calypso crew. We've got people everywhere. So we're getting awesome pictures from like all over the galaxy. So for those who love to travel, they have places they can go see. And for people who want to live vicariously through others because they're comfy in their little home hubs or in their home base, right? They can still see what
Right.
everybody else is doing and be excited about it. Currently right now, we've got the Cadet going, and this was dubbed by Ranger. Ranger is one of our leaders, and he's also a really awesome guy. He is a huge fan of Dark Tower, and he dubbed the term Cadet for a group of people bound for a purpose who are seeking the same truth to share with everyone. And so what we did is we turned our science division into the Cadet. So the Cadet is working with different hubs, trying to help them figure out how to battle back against, the trolls who would wreck their entire empire for kicks. So we're trying to figure out ways of how can you protect yourself and your community, right? Because it takes forever to discover this stuff. You don't want to build a ton of bases and have it lost. And this is everybody's daily gameplay. It's not like he's just affecting, or she or whoever decides to do it. It's not like they're affecting like one person when they do this. They're affecting every person who plays that game who might have wanted to come there because they needed units or they needed a special piece of tech or anything else, and all of a sudden everything that they looked for is gone.
Yeah.
So we're working on that. We're working on trying to bring more leaders together. We actually have a private chat with several different community leaders in there who normally don't talk to one another very much, not because they don't get along, but because their paths don't usually cross. Mm-hmm. But it's nice to have them talking in a very blue-collar way, right? Very normal level outside of their, I guess you would say, putting your game face on whenever you're playing. If you're a commander or you're a leader of whatever kind, you try to wear that face so that people actually understand what you're saying has some authority behind it.
Right.
In the chat, you're just a guy or a girl. So it's a much easier way of getting everybody to just talk, figure out things. Yeah. So it's just a giant bridging gap. And then of course that I'm tied to Boyd, and that's because I am one of the people who was in the other amino that shall not be named when all that fun stuff went down that I'm sure you're aware of because everybody was, with one dog-like entity who decided to wreak havoc on an entire group of people and basically tell them that they were stupid and then demand that he get the same exact thing given for himself, which didn't work. And so whenever Boyd decided to split off, I was one of the people that went with him, and I've always supported him. Whenever I told him what I wanted to do with the cafe, because Boyd's group it's the amino, yes, but it is a hub. It is an actual physical location within Euclid. It is in the Acapad conflux, formerly known as Acapatica, based around Pilgrim Star. Which is now currently credited to Steambot, having walked around the entirety of Pilgrim Star on foot, which took forever. First player to do it. Guru's done it multiple times.
Yeah, I watched that stream.
No
that
HUD.
was amazing.
Isn't it cool? And then Guru's done it in his honor, and also for the hub itself to kind of christen it again, with no HUD, which is insane.
No HUD.
No HUD. Yeah, if you haven't looked
up... So he walked
No Man's
around
Sky
an entire planet with no HUD and found his ship again with no HUD?
He has done some
crazy
crazy
it was
stuff.
Amazing, Cobra.
Yeah.
No, I know Steambot did it, but I didn't know Guru did it.
Guru's done all kinds of stuff. He's also one of the first people to swim an extremely large swath. This is back whenever we had water planets where you didn't really have land masses, that were kind of butted up against each other, right? It would almost be a water world, but it would have like a few small islands scattered around. He figured out how to actually swim like a dolphin using his jetpack and jumping. It's ridiculous to watch.
It was ridiculously amazing, wasn't it?
Isn't it? He's found walkers just randomly walking around that weren't shooting him. If you haven't checked out his YouTube, you probably should because he's got some really cool stuff on there. But yeah, so Guru did that to try and bring back Pilgrim Star, bring light back to it because it was a really cool thing that was done originally in the first place. So he's done things like that a couple of times since then for the hub. And then the hub was just built around it. But the difference between Boyd and I is while we completely support each other and we're kind of sister aminos in that because I will always back him and he will always back me, he is a location. We're just this, we're everybody. We don't care where you are. We don't care, if you're permadeath, if you're PC, if you play with mods, it doesn't matter. If you love the game, you play the game. You're in there somewhere. You fit in, and that's all it really takes. We have people that don't even play the game yet that are just interested in it, and they're
That's awesome.
Active members. So it's just But no, Boyd's working on a secret project right now that's going to blow your mind. That's all I'm going to tell
race?
You. No, there's great things coming after the race. The race is pretty epic, but trust me, it's nothing compared to what's coming. So just keep your eyes peeled for that one, because when it drops, it's going to be huge.
I cannot wait.
I mean, Boyd, it blows 42
amazing.
out of the water. Yeah,
really?
It blows 42 out of the water. Oh, wait until you see what happens, because Boyd's not the only one.
Ooh.
This has nothing to do with the cafe. I'm a supporter of it. I am a supporter of it.
Interesting.
And we do
Very
have cafe
interesting.
members in there helping out with this, but no, this isn't a cafe thing. This is a Boyd thing.
Wow.
42 kind of gave him the idea to run with, and he turned it into something crazy, and it is epic and amazing, and I cannot put it into words. Just wait. Just keep your eyes.
Too late. And the chat is asking if it's all mods. No, he's PS4, I believe, right? Boyd's PS4.
He is PS4. It is all vanilla, with the exception of the updates that are given out by Sony. What he has done, what others have done, is they have figured out that there are. You've got these infrastructure pieces, right?
Yes.
Now, these infrastructure pieces, you have the pods and stuff that you normally start with, your rooms and what have you, and those are great, but they only lock a certain way. When you start using these infrastructure pieces, you can build around them. And some of those are shaped like triangles, some of them are shaped like spheres or ramps, and depending on how you place these, and you start attaching things to them, if you build around them, you can start tilting.
Right.
And warping the entire reality of normal building aspects. Does it break the game? Sometimes, it'll mess up your game. Sometimes it doesn't land the way it's supposed to. Sometimes you think it's perfect, you leave, you come back, and it's destroyed. But once you get the hang of it and you're as good as he is, and he puts so much time into his, Ranger's done it, DG's done it. It's like, you can do it. I can't.
What Boyd does is, you would think he was modding. If you see some of his stuff, you would look at that picture and you would say, that's a mod. But it's not. Boyd is a mastermind when it comes to using these building pieces to do things that you and I would never think would be possible. And some of these things that he builds, I ask him all the time, like, how long did it take you to make that? He goes, an hour. 2 hours.
But see, to him, it's nothing. To him, that's what he does, though, right?
He's definitely a mastermind.
He does yes. Well, I mean, it started off like back in the day, like before the Amino Hub had its own Amino, right? He was doing 4-way player games where he and Guru and Niblet and Space Art Gek would all get on screen, all playing at the same time. Everybody would record their video and they would be in chat and they would be talking all at the same time and syncing everything that they were doing before multiplayer even dropped. Boyd and Gek and everybody else would all together put those together into a 4-way screen that you could actually watch on YouTube, and it was almost as if you were watching a 4-screen play of a multiplayer match where everybody was doing the same thing. That was unheard of. But they managed to pull that off too. So there's really great minds out there that do some really, really amazing stuff that a normal person would look at and go, I don't even see how that's possible. I'm going to call hacks. It's not hacking. It's brilliance.
Yeah.
It's just sheer
sure
brilliance.
This is the kind of stuff we need to keep No Man's Sky going, standing on its own feet.
I agree.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And Lily, while I got you on the phone, I want to ask you, I've been asking everybody else, like I sound like a broken record, but Minecraft has nothing to do with No Man's Sky. I'm not comparing the two.
I wish we had the aspects of building. I do. I test out some of my bases in Minecraft, actually. A couple of the bases in 42, I built them in Minecraft first.
Oh, wow.
Because a lot of what I built, right? Because I homeschool my kids. I don't know how many people know that. I homeschool my kids. They're teenagers. And I also work a full-time job. And that's with a GIMP farm that's still messed up from September. So when I play, I can't do like Boyd and like work the buttons, everything just right. I don't have that kind of dexterity because my hands kind of messed up and I don't have the time to spare. So a lot of what I do is like block structure. And you can do a lot of cool things with block structure if you test it out first. And because of the way they've got the building system in No Man's Sky, you can't go into third person and see it from above, right? You have to use a jetpack or you have to get in the ship and fly up. Or you have to go into photo mode, but you can't do anything from photo mode. You can only view it, land back down, and pray you're in the right spot that you thought you wanted it when you were up in the air. Right. And so I'll test it in Minecraft first and take screenshots. And so what I'll do is I'll choose a super small map. It helps a lot. Choose a super small map, make sure that the land is flat, and test out your block theories. And then take pictures. Just take screenshots like you would on No Man's Sky. Save it to your phone. And then whenever you're actually in build mode on No Man's Sky, just refer to your phone and look at the blocks. And it'll tell you how big around it was or whatever. And then you can start pulling those blocks away and dropping in rooms, corridors, ladder pieces, whatever you want. That's my way because I'm not one of the gifted ones. You know, I facilitate change. I bring people together. People have dubbed me the ambassador because I can rally the troops. I can get everybody's morale boosted and everybody feels great and it makes everybody happy. But I can't make that magic that Boyd or Habaxia or Alogalos or DG or Ranger or the countless others, I can't do what they do. All I can do is just support them and show them off and go, "Oh my God, have you seen this?" Right. And
so were you talking about? Were you talking about when you were mentioning the building part of your conversation? Were you talking about like the XYZ coordinates of Minecraft?
I don't usually use that actually. Normally what I do is I try to build the same way that I would playing No Man's Sky because it's easier for me to swap from one to the other that way. So if I'm trying to do something, I start out with graph paper, honestly, and a marker, and I'll just kind of mark out general shape of what I want. I'll go into Minecraft and I'll try to recreate it by snapping different blocks and shapes together and see if I can get something that kind of gives the feeling of what I want in No Man's Sky. Take a picture of that and then try and translate it over to No Man's Sky using the pieces we have there and then work from that. If I try to use like the angle abilities and the directional abilities of Minecraft while trying to build No Man's Sky, I would confuse myself because that's not something we have. We don't get a compass. We don't get anything to work with. We don't get grid lines. We get nothing. Like nothing. We get a dome that's arbitrary and that you can't even see where it is unless you're trying to place something to the outer edges or you're flying up with a jetpack or you're in photo mode. So it's kind of
So with that topic open, with Minecraft having, it's an old game and it's still going strong. I mean, super strong, right? Mm-hmm. What do you think No Man's Sky needs to be able to have those legs to be able to stand on its own so that way the community's not living update for update, sort of like paycheck to paycheck? You know what I mean?
Staying power?
Yeah, staying power. What does No Man's Sky need so that way Hello Games could turn the chair around to the other computer and start working on another game?
There's actually a few things. Like in No Man's Sky, you can kind of have a hub experience with every person in a different system, right? But in Minecraft, for a long time, I lived on the same seed planet as my best friend. You know, I could see them, they could see me. If we invited somebody else in, they could see us too. Which doesn't sound like a really big thing, but if you're a part of a community, right? Yes. If you are a part of a hub, or if you just have like a couple of friends that you want to play with, it would be really cool if like one person had a frozen planet in this system, another person had an irradiated planet, and another person had, you know, a superheated planet. You could all have different farms because you can grow things outside without having to have planters and having that taking away from your building complexity ratio. So if you could actually live within the same system as somebody else and not glitch out everybody else ever being able to see it, bless you, that would be wonderful. The ability to interact with each other like freighter battles. Now, multiple times, DG Squared and I, we've been playing a lot. And whenever we warp in together, we'll see the same freighter. Like the exact same freighter. Now, there's a freighter battle going on my side, right? There's not on his. But how cool would it be to be able to help each other? Like to be able to take down sentinels really cool. Together.
Yeah.
Or to be able to both fight for a freighter or assist each other. What about being able to leave things for your friends? Because that was something that we talked about a long time ago in the hub, you know, almost a year ago now. It would have been a really cool thing, like if we knew that this particular planet didn't have any kind of
We'll talk about
do what?
What was that?
I don't know.
It sounded like you said something, and I couldn't understand you. My phone goes special.
Actually,
no, I think my wife just reminded me to do the laundry.
I have a quick question for Lily, and I brought this up a bit earlier. Well, it was kind of a combination of Cobra and basically we were talking about like it'd be cool if you could make a tool which could like where you could customize, like make custom flora, fauna, whatever, and like make that open to the community and just give a bunch of tools to that and kind of use that to add to the replayability, because the chance to stumble upon all these player creations and stuff. I'm just curious, do you have anything to expand on that, or what are your thoughts on that?
Oh, that would be awesome. Actually, customization is a huge thing. My husband and both of my sons actually played at one point in time, and the one reason that they gave up is because there is no customization. You have one multi-tool, you can have, well, like the freighter, okay? Now, tell me this makes sense. You have a freighter that has 9 docking spots. You can only have 6 ships. And once you have 5 ships, no one ever lands in it again.
Yeah.
So what of the others? Why even have them? It doesn't do anything. So I mean that's kind of pointless. The fact that you have multi-tools that are geared towards mining, or you have them geared towards being able to protect. But you can't really have great stats for both. The ability to like, okay, I'm going to use Call of Duty here. Why not have it where you actually have access to an armory? Why can you not have multiple guns? You can have multiple ships. Multiple guns would not be that hard of a stretch. Changing the color of your ship would be nice. Being able to change your plants, like you said, would be wonderful. Smaller shapes to build with that are already in the game as the scale, like being able to shrink or enlarge the shapes that already exist. A sphere is a sphere.
Something like making a logo, pixel by pixel.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I'd love to be able to put my favorite band's logo on my ship.
So I see a commonality, you know, especially with what Lily's saying and with everybody that's commented on my last 2 videos and everyone that's came on the show today. It's community and customization. That's it. That's what it needs to stand on, you know, have longevity, last longer than what the updates are lasting. And because I want to see Hello Games be able to continue to make money. I don't think they're burning through their money, but I do think that they are using a lot of their money to make these updates, and they're not bringing in any more revenue. And they're going to have to sooner or later.
Well, I'm going to be blunt about it. I would in an instant. It's the only game I play. It is all I do. I teach my kids. I work full time. My alone time, it is spent on the Amino with the community. Mine and Boyd's, because I'm a curator there as well. So I'm helping with ideas for his community. That's kind of my job over there too. Is like explaining what the game is to new people and coming up with ideas to kind of keep the community busy, coming up with really cool activities and things to make people go, oh, wow. So that's my job over there. But it's literally all No Man's Sky based. That's what I do. It's not just a game anymore. This is how I de-stress. This is my sanctuary.
Preach into the choir.
And because they gave us multiple saves, right? And because they gave us multiple saves, I have a save for permadeath. I have a save for survival. Now, do I share those with other people? No, those are solo. And those are solo for a reason. Those are my stress relieving saves. And I'm fine being out there by myself. The community's huge.
I've taken anger classes before. And
it's not a bad thing.
And
this is a good start.
And I've never had to take another one because when if I put on No Man's Sky like on normal, I can just walk. I don't even care what's in front of me. I can just walk.
Okay, it's really funny that you say that because I used to work in psych, and I have a friend that's going through nursing school, and she is bipolar, and she has ADHD.
My wife's bipolar.
And she was trying to find a way of like calming down because when you're hyper and you're amped up, like you hit that something triggers you, and all of a sudden you were just angry for no reason. You were frustrated. You don't want to go around screaming at people. You don't want to lose your job. You're just frustrated. You're mad. You can't sleep. And so I told her, I was like, you really should just get the game. And she told me that's exactly what she does. She'll get pissed off. She'll come home. She'll load the game. She'll get out and she'll just walk and walk. And she does it in creative, so she doesn't have to worry about dying or anything because that would just make things worse. But she'll go into the water and she'll look around at things and she'll try her best to land on planets that have weird, funky animals. She turns them into cute little caption things, and she saves them to her phone. And whenever she's having a bad day, she'll look at them and laugh. But she uses that.
That's nice.
Instead of because whenever you're in school,
it's funny you mention that this person likes No Man's Sky because my wife is bipolar and she hates it. She hates No Man's Sky with a passion.
I think it's a love-hate relationship. It's kind of like Minecraft that way.
I think it's how you're introduced to it, too.
She hates Minecraft, too, but she loves stuff like Farmville. Or
sat her down,
Stardew Valley. That's the big one, Stardew Valley.
Have you ever sat her down and said, hey, don't play the game. Don't worry about upgrading this. I'm not going to talk to you about that. And just land her on a beautiful planet and say, just walk. Because I do that too.
On creative.
That's a good idea, Cobra. I might do that.
Maybe she'd only like creative. That's what made the
difference for Chloe was doing it in creative because she did try it in normal mode and everything else, and it's stressful because she was getting this thing where they wanted her to build stuff and do stuff, but you can turn that off just by going into your little menu and putting it on creative mode. Creative build mode only. You won't get those things popping up to tell you have to build a warp, you have to build this, you have to do this. And without that,
you can go to the bottom of the ocean or to the top of a mountain and not worry.
Yeah, my friend does it with no HUD because you're in creative, right? So it doesn't matter. You're not.
Yeah, so it
you
doesn't
don't have
matter.
to mine anything. Yeah, you don't have to mine anything. You don't have to shoot anything. You could shoot everything if it makes you feel better. It doesn't matter. But you don't have to have a HUD up even. You're just walking around a beautiful planet. She puts on music. She turns the volume off on the game completely. And she just plays music that she likes. And she just walks, or she'll hop on the Nomad and she'll just start ramping off of stuff, Grand Theft Auto style, and just have fun. But yeah, creative mode makes a difference. By the way,
Cobra, this is the first time my wife's ever seen you, and she said, he's cute in a nerdy way.
Aw.
Nerdy. I'm gonna take that as a compliment. Tell her I said thank you so much.
She meant it as a compliment.
Yeah. I'm definitely gonna take that. That's a compliment. Tell her I said thank you.
Cobra said thank you.
That was beautiful,
man. I'm in the living room, so I had. Cobra said thank you for calling him cute.
Please, I've got teenage boys. I yell all the time. You're fine.
I'm clipping this section.
Oh, we've been married for almost 12 years. This is
going to be a clip.
It's amazing. But yeah, I think having having people like you, having people like LPlays, having people like Hidden Panda, it's really awesome to keep those going, because even if it's just talking, it's still keeping the name showing up in the feed on YouTube, because more people watch YouTube and Twitch now than they watch cable. We cut cable 2 years ago, but we pay for YouTube Red. Not because of the YouTube Red content, because honestly it sucks, but because we can watch our favorite streamers and videos without having to watch ads.
Right.
And I spend more time watching
this community,
you.
I've noticed this community has all types of people from all walks of life, and that's wonderful.
Oh yeah, definitely. And speaking of all walks of life, Panda Poopy just mentioned that Hidden Jew Agenda, who is also in our community, he has a YouTube channel with Panda. He said that he's on tour right now in Alabama with his it's like a punk band called Head Trauma.
Oh, that's cool.
Oh man, that's my favorite type of music is punk rock. Which, by the way, I wanted to compliment your shirt. The Misfits are my like the second favorite band.
Not only is it it's the Misfits Lost in Space shirt. So,
oh, nice.
Yeah. So it's got
that's a good one.
The Spaceman. So yeah, I love punk too.
That is cool. Speaking of musician friends, do what?
I was going to ask him if he liked Bad Religion.
Oh yeah, old school. Yep.
I've got their logo tattooed on my left shoulder.
Oh, really?
Oh, that's cool.
That's awesome, dude.
The little crossbuster, the little crossed out cross.
Absolutely. That is cool.
I'm just sitting here. I'm like, what on earth are you guys talking about? I'm like,
anything and everything, honey. Everything.
I know practically zip about music.
One cool thing I wanted to mention too, like just
I'll show you the whole podcast later, honey.
I just wanted, like, I was actually playing some No Man's Sky earlier, and like I found a system. It's weird. It has 3 planets, and one of the planets is like one of those bubble worlds where like there's bubbles everywhere. Another is one of the hexagon planets with like the mechanical plants everywhere. And then the other planet is like just a radioactive planet where I discovered like all the fauna in like not even 30 minutes. It was really weird. So in a way,
the fauna is getting easier to find because our scanners are better. Used to, you had to be pretty much right up on them to be able to scan them. But now, remember back in the old vanilla days, whenever you had to shoot down a bird and feel bad about it to scan it?
Yes.
Because it was out of range?
Yeah.
Oh, God.
I hate that
what I had
so
to do is
much.
I had to shoot it down and then scan the thing.
Yes, and you had to go find the dead body, go scan the carcass. That was depressing, and it made me feel very bad. But now our scanners, we have so many extra scanners, and for the longest time we were even trying to figure out, why was there an option for ship scanning in Galactic Map, and all of a sudden now that's there. But yeah, the reason why it's so easy to pick off all of these animals now is because our scanners can actually go through rock. So if they're just on the other side of that hill, as long as a small part is sticking up, you can scan them.
Yeah.
Speaking of shooting animals out of the sky, I was streaming on Twitch about a couple hours ago, and I was flying on my ship, and I saw this big, giant flying creature, and I shot it down with my ship. And it fell down. I watched it roll on the ground, so I landed my ship because I wanted to take a look at it. And when I landed, it disappeared. And I'm like, there's no way this thing glitched out. I didn't go very far. So I'm sitting there walking. They burst into
particles. Yes, they do. Yes,
I'm sitting here walking, and I fell down this hole because I wasn't looking. And sure enough, there it was down inside the hole. And I fell
it was there.
Yeah, and it had me trapped, and I couldn't get out because I was, it and some rocks and things like that. So I'm like, this thing got revenge on me even after it was dead. I had to blast everything with my grenade just to get out.
Oh, that's amazing. Usually they just poof into particles. They'll just come out of photo mode too.
Way out.
Yeah.
Speaking of animals, has anybody seen that beetle with like the mushroom on it that everybody's talking about? Like Kotaku wrote an article about it. It's like supposedly really rare. It's like this giant beetle with like a mushroom growing out of the top of it.
No.
Like, let me post
now
the
I have
link
to
in the. Let me see here. I'm gonna post it in the.
I think we talked about that months ago on the show. Somebody brought it up.
Yeah, I remember something about it, but I just read the Kotaku article and I was like, those things look pretty legit.
Oh, that is awesome.
Hey Cobra, quick question. I'm sorry. What's your Twitch channel? I actually didn't know you had one.
It is. Let me see here.
Because there's a bunch of stuff that comes up under Cobra TV, actually.
Yeah.
It is. Wait, that's Twitter. Hold on.
Is it XXX Cobra or something?
No, it's the X Cobra.
So I was looking at the wrong one too then.
The X Cobra?
Yeah.
Oh, yep, I see it.
Okay, cool.
I'll look
We
you
should
up
be
later too.
Streaming there too.
Oh, nice.
Somebody playing guitar.
Yeah, I think this would be a good time to kind of bring up why. At the beginning of the show, I talked about Twitch and why I streamed there earlier today. I feel like I'm typecast on YouTube, but I play No Man's Sky and recently been playing Elite Dangerous, and I don't mind being typecast. You know, some people call me the William Shatner of No Man's Sky. I'm fine with that. I'm comfortable. I'm never gonna get.
I'm playing Elite.
Strangely apt.
Yeah, I'm never gonna get 1 million subscribers. You know, and talking about No Man's Sky and playing No Man's Sky and things like that, and I'm fine with that because I belong to one of the best gaming communities that has ever existed.
Absolutely.
And I'm content with the number. I'm content with the number that we're at. I mean, this is just the most amazing I've ever felt with a bunch of greatest people. However, I do love playing other games, and I would love to stream other games, but I just don't feel like I can on Cobra TV on YouTube because I feel like people, if I started streaming, we'll see, what's a good example? Warframe. You know, if I started streaming Warframe, people would be like, Cobra, what are you doing? What are you doing, man?
Well, maybe,
I
but
disagree, Cobra. I don't think you should put yourself in a box like that.
Go
ahead and branch out.
Accident.
I think you'll be amazed at the community.
And there's a lot of people, and you have to understand, especially at the cafe, a lot of us are just huge nerds. We love gaming in general. We all have the commonality of No Man's Sky, but like one of my favorite people to watch is Nerd Down Dylan, and very seldom is he all No Man's Sky. I mean, currently he's kind of off radar because he's got life stuff going on, but it's like he plays everything. He plays other things too. Now, he does get more views on his No Man's Sky stuff, but that's because it's kind of a niche thing, right? It's a love-hate relationship. We've come to grips with this. You know, there's those of us who love it. We love it hardcore. We're extremely passionate about it. And then the rest of the community out there, they ran with the hype and they ran with the media, and they decided, even before playing it, a lot of them decided that they hated it because once the media started saying, oh, it's all a lie, you know, those are the same people who take everything at face value. That's what they ran with.
Yeah.
But those of us who actually are community-based, we'll support anything you do.
Well,
like,
and
don't even worry about that.
I'm sorry, I was just going to say what I like about No Man's Sky community is it's just so tight-knit, and you know, I'd rather have a small tight-knit community than a large, ambiguous one.
Oh, God, absolutely. This is one of the reasons why I only use Twitter for social media for the cafe. And if you notice, I don't shout out the cafe like nonstop. And the reason why is because I want people to come to the cafe organically. I want them to find us because they actually are passionate about the game and they want to be a part of a weird group of people from everything from an ICU doctor to, you know, a dishwasher or mechanic, just everybody. Anybody. Those people, I want them at the cafe, but I don't want it to become this huge mess, well, like the other one that shall not be named, with over 20,000 members. I mean, props to them for the number, but how many of them are actually active? How many of them actually know anything about any of the people that they're talking to? You know, at the cafe, most of us
That's
know.
A good point.
Yeah, it's a different kind of community. Numbers aren't everything. It's the passion behind it. People support you.
It's all about
they like
activity,
you.
right?
Yeah. And
Panda
I
Poopy.
don't know.
people support you because they like you. It's not just because you're No Man's Sky, right? It's because you're passionate, you're well-spoken, you're kind, and you're respectful. And that goes a long way with YouTube because so many people on YouTube are getting their kicks off of just lambasting everything they can get their hands on. The more they make fun of things, the more they make fun of people. That's how they get their views. And you're not one of those people. So you could play anything, and I promise you, if you started playing Fortnite and that became your big game, I promise you people would start watching you for Fortnite because there's people who play No Man's Sky who also like Fortnite. It's don't box yourself in.
I didn't like Fortnite so much, but I've been playing Kingdom Come Deliverance.
How is that? How is that?
Oh man, I'm loving it. I'm loving it.
Really?
Fortnite didn't
Oh
go
yeah.
so Cobra.
It's buggy. It's a little bit buggy, but it's good. It's great.
We play No Man's Sky. We don't mind bugs. We're good.
Yeah, that's right.
It's
Yeah,
endearing.
But they really did get a lot of history, a lot of historical accuracy in the game. It's amazing what that team accomplished.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I'm growing more and more curious about that game. I might, when it goes on sale, I might pick it up or something. I don't know.
Well, I picked it up as a pre-order, man, and I'm loving it.
I love it when that happens. Whenever you buy something sight unseen, and it's love at first sight. That's such an awesome thing. I do love that. But I am one of those people. I usually do wait for something to go on sale before I spring on it, especially if it's out of my normal genre, because
skepticism is a healthy thing.
It comes in handy in real life.
Oh yeah, for real.
Yep.
So, Cobra, I've actually got a small game recommendation for you.
Okay.
It's called Avon Colony. Have you heard of it?
I've seen it.
I've
yeah,
heard
I've
of
seen
it.
some trailers.
I've heard of it. I haven't played it.
That's a good one. You would like it, I think.
Describe that to me. Is it more like a city builder or like a?
It's definitely a city builder.
Okay.
It's not much. It's definitely not much exploration. It's okay. So basically, what happens in the game? Small spoiler alert. I haven't actually gotten that far, so no major spoilers. A few hundred-ish light years away from old Earth, so Earth, you arrive at Avon Prime, which is, it's not exactly safe, but you need to be able to build colonies and basically sustain them through harsh winters and hostile environments and such. And
So it's like a resource gathering kind of thing?
Not exactly resource gathering, more like resource
Management.
that and manufacturing. Resource manufacturing. So like you build mines on top of resource deposits.
Yeah. So what you're doing is you're playing a game from like a top-down view, and
Yes, very much so.
Yeah. Right.
Kind of like Civilization?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, that right there.
So it's like a real-time strategy game, basically, kind of.
That sounds awesome.
See, I've never
That
really
does
got
sound
into
cool.
those games, but is there enough in that game you just mentioned to keep you really entertained?
Only thing I can think of for entertainment is the storyline.
Oh, so there is a storyline, really.
There is a storyline.
Okay.
Well, and keep in mind too, it might be something that you enjoy playing just for you as well.
Good
You know.
point. Good
I mean,
point.
Yeah,
it
it's like-
doesn't
it's like
necessarily
maybe-
have to be something that
Yeah,
has to be streamed to people.
Yeah,
Do
it's kind of
something
like
for your own
making Kerbal
enjoyment
Space
too.
Program.
Oh God,
Kind of like making Kerbal Space Program. I love that.
I love that game. God, that's so funny. Yeah, that
I
was
have
like me
killed.
playing
I have
Journey.
killed more Kerbals than I can count.
It's a good thing they're designed for that.
Hey, they don't care.
Yeah.
They keep volunteering.
This is true.
I posted in the chat, comment 1 if you want Cobra to try out other games, and there's a lot of ones, Cobra. So think about
Really?
it. Think about it. Yeah, we need to do like a let's play of Deep Rock Galactic one of these nights once you get a
Yes, we got to do that. But
I think you would really enjoy that.
I can't just play random games all the time. Like, what if somebody likes seeing me play this game and other people like seeing me this game, and there's like 5 or 6 or 8 games? I can't do series on them all. And that's kind of like one of the things I wanted to kind of use Twitch for, to be random as heck. That way I could be structured on YouTube and focused on YouTube, laser focused on certain things. And then on Twitch, I could just go nuts and go crazy. Like, whenever I sit down and play, may as well flip on the mic and stream it and just let people watch what I'm doing on PS4.
Well, that's one way to do
idea.
it, and that would work. That would work. Another thing to consider too is there's a Let's Play guy he's a love-or-hate kind of relationship too, but I absolutely adore him. His name is Jacksepticeye, and he plays. I love Jack. I love Jack. He's
my kids love Jack.
My whole family watches him. My husband watches him too, because I mean, top of the morning to you. How can you not? But he's this amazing guy, and so is Markiplier. But they'll do that too, right? They'll pick up a game that they really like, and they'll run that series, and they'll do it like 1 or 2 a week. And then the rest of the time they're playing other random things in between. If something picks up speed, then they might play that thing twice a week in place of another random one that didn't really take off. But they don't stay stuck to one thing either. They usually keep the one thing that they play the most, that gets the most views, constant, which for you would be No Man's Sky. But then they vary up their content elsewhere, right? For just random stuff. And you could always do that too. And it's been wildly successful for a lot of people who follow that algorithm.
Yeah.
There's no reason you couldn't do it as well. Not to mention, it might actually boost your subscriber count, because you are offering the option of variety while also offering, really good gameplay, because you're using your best stuff instead of trying to build up content. You're actually saving the content and compiling it together in a way that you're happy with, that you're proud of, but that actually focuses on what you wanted people to see. And so that might work for you too. So just play with it. We're going to be around no matter what you do. You just play with it, see what takes off. Whatever feels natural to you is what you need to do. The people will follow you whatever you do. We're always going to support you. That is the No Man's Sky community. We do that.
Yeah, Cobra, I'm going to be here no matter what, man.
Yeah, I appreciate that, guys. That means a lot to me. It really does.
Yeah, no, actually, I will too.
Hey, I've been subscribed for 2 years.
Wow.
God, for a long time.
Yeah, I know Black Note, man. Black Note goes all the way back to some weird days.
Yeah.
The first video I've seen of yours, I think, was the ships video when we were speculating on No Man's Sky. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I think it was the ships
wow.
video.
Wow, that was a long time ago.
Yeah, I saw that video, but I didn't sub until probably like 6 months later.
I think the first thing I saw was my husband told me about No Man's Sky, and of course, me being me, it's like, I don't read what the media has to say about it, because half of them are paid, and the other half are just trying to hurry up and say something before somebody else does. So a lot of it's half truth, because they really just want to say something nobody else is going to say yet. And so I usually take to YouTube from people who have actually been to like E3, or they've actually seen something come out of it. And then I'll start watching commentaries from people who have actually seen all these things themselves, right?
Yeah, or at least done the research.
Yeah, and just kind of watch that. And so one of the first things I ever saw from you was you talking about every tiny little thing you could find.
Yeah.
About what was coming, and then whenever the game came out, it was just, that's the reason I fell in love with wanting the game, was because you and like, I think it was like 2 other people that really just, they quit posting videos. I don't know why they did. I don't even remember who they were. I didn't subscribe to them because they only posted like twice, I think. But it was one of those things where it was like, oh my God, look at the grass. The grass is awesome. The grass moves. Do you see it? It's moving. Oh my God. See this rock? That's a rock. That's a really cool rock.
That's
Let's
part of my
rock.
videos. Like, guys, take a look at this rock. This rock I didn't notice in the last video. You see how it's dented on the side? It's so weird, man. Just
I pre-ordered the game, and my wife went to work, and she was supposed to bring it home that day. Well, she played a little trick on me. She had the game, the hard copy in her purse, and said, "I'm sorry, honey, I forgot to stop at GameStop."
Oh no.
Oh, I
cute.
was mad.
Aaron.
And before it got too heated, she said, "Here you go, honey. It was just a trick." And she pulled out that, and I fell to my knees like, "Ooh."
What was you about to say, Aaron?
I put it in, loaded up my character, and got killed by a crab monster.
I think one of my first deaths was by a crab as well, because my first thing was, oh my god, and it was a smaller one too. It was like mid-size.
Oh yeah,
and I was like, oh my god, look, it's so
monster.
cute, and he's got little shiny eyes, and oh my god, what is it doing? And I was dead, and it was my first black screen, and I'm like, what? It was mean. They're mean. And then I was terrified of anything that was flying, because I thought, well, surely some of the birds, as ugly as they are, they must be predators. So that took forever to discover that one, and then I drowned. And then the air killed me, which was new, because it looked fine. And apparently it was an irradiated planet that had storms, and I was far away from my ship, and I was trying to get what I needed. I think it was after Heridium, and of course it didn't tell you how to play or what Heridium even looked like, so I'm just walking around looking for stuff. And I only knew what I had seen from other people who had played and watching videos like yours, Cobra. And I'm like, okay, I know it's a giant blue thing. Let's go look for the blue thing. It wasn't anywhere near me. So I'm sitting there walking, and I'm like, wow, the sky is just a really pretty turquoise. Incoming storm, what's that? And all of a sudden, it's like health bar just starts tanking. It's like, what? Wait, no. And there was nothing. There was nothing. There was nowhere to hide. I was in the middle of nowhere. So it was just death,
the beginning,
death, more death.
The launch of the game, the beginning of the game was like just so amazing. You know, like the one video that I have up where people, I mean, it's got just an insane amount of views on it because people shared it everywhere. Some people said it's probably the funniest thing that's happened since Leroy Jenkins. And so
Leroy Jenkins.
It was my first try at survival. And
oh God!
I was almost dead, so I laid down a save, and I saved, but it saved me at being almost dead.
Oh yeah, I remember your death, Luke.
No.
So it kept killing me every 3 seconds, and I was sitting there saying things. Yeah. I was shouting, saying, "Oh, I was mad, dude." I was like, "Sean Murray, do you think the world was too happy? Is this why you did this to me?" Oh, it was amazing.
That's beautiful.
I still think the funniest thing Cobra ever said was, "Get off my lawn."
You know, something funny though. Now, granted, I've only played on normal. I haven't played like survival or permadeath or anything actually. Although I do want to make a separate save for that at some point. But actually, I've actually never died in my No Man's Sky save, and it's the one I've kept from the beginning.
You are lucky.
If you play survival, be prepared for that.
Play survival, okay? Now it's not. Don't listen to people. Look, it's not meant to be hard, okay? You have not experienced No Man's Sky a certain way until you have played survival. Now, I can't speak for permadeath, okay?
Permadeath is simply survival with one life.
Right, okay.
It's not any harder. It's just It's just survival with one life.
I haven't played permadeath, but survival makes you... Oh, I tell you what, it's the best way to play the game, in my opinion.
You appreciate everything.
I totally agree.
You got to plan your moves. You got to know, and I don't mean that in a negative way. It's not difficult. It's not hard, but you have to think differently when you play. And everything around you, plutonium.
You'll be looking for anything that you can land on that don't cost you plutonium to launch.
Amen to that one. Oh my God.
I've got a video where I landed on a planet and I ended up naming it Do Not Land Here. And
I've done
it was in survival, and I landed on the planet, and it was an island, so I would have had to swim to another island, which they were far away. But on this island, it was crazed sentinels, and it was a hostile weather environment, and almost no plutonium. I couldn't take back off. So I'm sitting there near death. Couldn't find plutonium anywhere. It was one of the best experiences in No Man's Sky and most frustrating ones I've ever had since I've been playing the game. But
I've had one of those.
You know, Sean Murray said the universe is out to kill you.
Yeah, you can't run, and survival. So you got to take your time to get to your ship. I'm telling you, it's the best way, in my opinion, to play the game. It makes you respect and cherish everything the game has to offer. Like, there are certain things that you will look at differently if you play survival.
Honestly, you can look at the play modes kind of like you look at your ships, right? Because in normal, you're more of a hauler, really. You're trying to keep everything because you're more worried about the economy. It's more goal-oriented. It's just getting from point A to point B with your stuff, and as much as you could possibly have. Whenever you're playing creative, it's basically a shuttle. It's good for pretty much everything. You just don't have to worry about a whole lot. It has what you need in moderate amounts, and that's about all you get. Survival, that's more of your fighter. You're really just... It's when you're playing survival versus, say, normal. Normal is your goal-oriented one. Survival is your strategic one. That's really what the whole thing is it's strategy. Everything you do has a strategy. Like, if you have so many suits or so many slots allotted in your suit, you will start setting up grid lines of color, where one is you've got so much plutonium, you have so much thamium, you have so much iridium, you have so much iron. Why? Because you're rebuilding shields, you're staying alive, you want to be able to fly. Yeah. And you have these rows of colors set up, and you'll start sacrificing different pieces of tech that you thought you needed. And you'll just rebuild it on the fly when you do. Because it takes up those precious slots you really, really have to have just to make it to the next planet.
Yeah. And when you find plutonium crystals, you will faint. Like, yes, I found some.
Oh yeah, you will. Yeah, you will.
I gotta take it back to the ship.
My favorite thing ever of playing survival back before they started nerfing the dead planets was landing on one and it becoming Christmas. Because you land, Sentinels are kind of chill.
You can stock it up.
There's Iridium, there's Thamium for days. And I named a couple of them like Best Petrol. Just random names like that. And then there's the other planets, like the one that Cobra landed on. I think I named one, Don't Do It, Just Don't.
we got a comment in the chat from Panda Poopy that says, "Tell Lily thank you for the No Man's Sky Cafe. #BYOB. I love sharing my story. Cafe is such a great community and immunity and amino hub."
Aww. It was actually a really awesome story of how he met his wife and how if you've ever heard the term star-crossed lovers, they are the epitome of those story tales that you've heard all your life, those fairy tales of love.
Yes.
That's them. And it is just the coolest read I have ever had the pleasure of seeing. And the fact that he shared it with everybody, it was just the coolest gift. I mean, that's just awesome.
Where can I read this? I'm sure my wife would love it.
We only exist outside of just random shout-outs, and a lot of it's just mostly retweets on Twitter, because a lot of what I think keeps Hello Games going, as far as like keeping the hype up while we wait, is sharing what everybody is creating. A lot of what I use my Twitter for is just, constantly retweeting these awesome pictures that people are taking, or the videos that people are doing, or whatever, because the more people do that, the more it gets shared around, the more it kind of keeps the name out there. So we only exist in Amino. In Amino, it's a free app, iOS, Android.
Yeah, I know about Amino.
Yeah, you used to be able to get it on a PC and run it with BlueStacks, but BlueStacks did an update, and Amino has gotten so big that it kicked it out of the system because the user base was so large. Yeah, you can't use it on BlueStacks anymore unless you already have it. If you already have it, maybe it might still. But I tried downloading it the other day from my computer, and it won't let me do it. But yeah, it's free for iOS and Android. We chose that platform for the cafe for the same reasons that the Amino Hub chose it for theirs. It's easier to kind of keep out trolls. Your community is more close-knit. It's more about people posting stuff. When people post stuff, and Cobra knows this because he's a member of the community, when people post stuff, on Facebook, anywhere else, people just hit the like button. and they don't say anything. But if you come to the cafe and you look at what people are posting like full-on sentences in emoji, like Kirby and Nev and some of the other people do, which are amazing. Or it's like actual conversation. Like it's actually like a cafe. There's actual conversation going on. And then, of course, the Cadet, we've got what we call the knowledge stones. Ranger, myself, DG, now we have Kirby and Predator Hunter. We're heading this small little team that we're adding to little by little about testing different theories in No Man's Sky. Everything from build limits, portals, tech, how to find certain ships, what makes certain ones spawn, just all kinds of random stuff. And we post these as wiki things. So if you go to the cafe and you type in knowledge stones or Cadet, it's going to show you these pages, and they're literally, it's like a magazine of information of stuff you would actually have to play the game for hours with friends to find out. And everything that's posted has been tested.
That's really, really cool.
It is cool. And you can ask anything that you want, and people will actually answer you back.
It's a kind
people
community.
Actually say hi.
Yes. Yeah. If you go to somebody's larger communities and you ask a simple question, people sometimes will attack you like, are you serious? You don't know how to do that? You'll get barraged with negativity. It's not like that over there. I mean, people, even if they've answered it 100,000 times, they're kind about it. It's a great community, and I'm ashamed and disappointed in myself for not joining it sooner.
We don't really promote ourselves either.
I played Warcraft for a long time, and that community is toxic. I would ask, where is this, whatever, and they'd say, well, get good, noob.
That happened a lot.
Yeah.
One of the reasons why we don't want to be, it's the one we say that shall not be named. If you download Amino, this is not a shout out, and I'm just going to say it. If I piss off Vapid, he can just bite me. What is he going to do? There are really good aminos with great communities, and he does have great community members. He has become not so much of a great fixture, but back when there was a certain core group that was constantly posting things, you would see things that, like Kirby. Kirby is amazing. Like, he has some really awesome science. And this dude figured out, way back when portals were like a rare thing to find, we didn't even know what they were going to do yet. Kirby figured out the science about listening to your sonar. Because whenever you would hit your scan button on your ship to scan, it would make the sonar ping. And if you listen just right, there was a different sound between buildings, which sound like metal, a whooshing sound, which is usually either a crashed ship or like the suit pods or something like that, or a save point. And then there was this weird kind of twing sound, and that was usually a portal. And he had figured this out, and he was so proud of it, and he posted about it, and nobody said a word.
Wow.
Nobody said anything.
Wow.
And finally, one person replied, and I'm like,
he sounds like the Neil deGrasse Tyson of No Man's Sky.
Kinda. And it was just so sad because the one person who did respond to him said something like, they don't even work yet. Or great, he found something that doesn't even work. And so, of course, I had the cafe at the time, and I messaged him privately, and I said, honey, would you please come over to the cafe? You don't have to join for long. I know you're a member over here. I'm not trying to take you away. I'm not poaching people. But would you please, even if you stayed long enough just to drop this and leave, would you please come share this over here? Because we are a huge bunch of nerds, and we live for this stuff. Just drop it. And I'm not joking, within maybe 3 hours of him dropping it, most people were at work. He had over 20 replies going, really? This is cool. I'm trying this tonight. It was amazing. It didn't work for everybody because it's kind of a fine-tuned thing, but it's that different mentality of, like you said, get good, or, well, the reason that there's travelers now is because, I answered one of those today. Somebody had never seen a traveler before. And DG jumped in there and told him, well, there's multiple storylines and they go like this. And, you know,
Well, you mentioned how this person met his wife. And I guarantee you mentioned they were star-crossed. And I guarantee it's more romantic than how I met mine. I met my wife at the McDonald's drive-thru.
Oh, that's love right there.
That's true.
How does that happen exactly?
Well,
one hamburger at a time.
You get talking to her. She puts her number on the back of the seat, a collar, and then the rest is history.
Oh, that's cute.
That's awesome, dude.
That's sweet.
I can just picture you going in circles through the drive-thru, just ordering over and over again.
Actually,
I'm back. Just changing your outfit,
bartender,
putting on sunglasses. Like, hey.
Guys, we're probably going to end the stream here about midnight. We're almost at the 2-hour mark, and I've had so much fun on this subcast, man. This has been a really amazing subcast. And Lily, I thank you so much for coming on the show and talking about the No Man's Sky Cafe and everything you guys got going on. You've been a great guest, and I think everybody's enjoyed having you on.
Oh, Lily's awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, very good.
It's a really laid back place. Anybody who wants to can come on over and hang out. The only thing that I ask is that whenever you come over, realize it is just a giant family. We're just a giant group of friends. Everybody from the minute you walk in the door, your family, your friends, no problem. Just treat people nice. That's literally like pretty much the only thing that we care about. As long as you're nice to other people, that's because we have a certain vibe over there where it is very chill, very fun, very laid back, and that's what it's designed for. So if that's kind of your groove, if that's how you like to hang out and enjoy yourself, then by all means pop on over. Cobra's there too.
Who likes hostility?
That would be the other place.
Nobody that I know. Some people do. I choose not to know those people. But does anybody have
for having me?
Yeah, man. Yeah. Does anybody have any YouTube channels you want to shout out real quick?
I don't have one yet.
Not mine. It's not structured yet. It's getting there, but it's not structured yet.
Okay.
If you look up Catet, Catet is spelled K-A-T-E-T. Ranger is starting to post some Catet-based research on YouTube.
You mean Catet, like in the Stephen King novels?
Yes, dear. Absolutely. You got it. Yes. That's what he based it on. Good on you. Yes.
Oh, that's cool. That's cool. My wife's a big Dark Tower fan, so.
Oh, nice.
I picked up on that.
If you do end up popping over to the cafe, look up Ranger. He's one of our leaders. Just message him, and he can send you portal codes. He's actually built the Dark Tower.
Oh, wow. I gotta see it. I gotta see it.
He's built a lot of stuff that's based off of the Dark Tower series. Wow. So hit him up and ask him, because he's got coordinates to those, and they are awesome. There's hidden rooms in them. There's all kinds of cool stuff. It's pretty epic. Yeah, he's an awesome builder.
Yeah,
very awesome.
Just one last thing. I think I said this before. This is the last thing I wanted to say before I left. Cobra, I still hope like at some point you become like some kind of No Man's Sky radio host or something. I think you'd be perfect for that.
Oh, right.
I wish. Yeah, that'd be so cool to have my broadcast on. You didn't have to go to YouTube. Like anybody could tune into Cobra TV. I would literally make that my job. I would find a way to stream at least 12 hours a day.
And like having a foreign game.
Yeah. Or maybe play some reruns or things like that when I'm not online or whatever. But that would be so cool, man. That would be great.
You have a perfect voice for it. I could actually see that taking off. That would be amazing.
Is silky smooth, isn't it?
I know, right? Even my kids and my husband, he mentioned that too. He was like, "Is that an old radio host?" And I'm like, "No, he's a guy who's actually really into games, and no, he's just a normal broadcaster." He's like, he would be awesome for radio. Of course, he has a friend who is a DJ for a radio station. Wow. So yeah, he knows. But yeah, you totally could.
Yeah. Oh, unfortunately, I never went that route, but instead I went YouTube. So YouTube's fine. I'm content.
Well, I have a good voice for that too.
Thank you. Thank
Absolutely.
you guys.
Well,
Thank
I have the face for it.
Thank you. I've got a good face for radio. Okay, does anybody want to shout out anything at all? I do. Go to check out Hidden Panda. He's in the chat. He's got the Hidden Panda show on YouTube.